What's up, people? It's your man Urban Lover like no other, coming from your mama's basement, baby. And we'll get right into the free agent series. We'll do three for the price of one. We're gonna go down in Memphis, but one individual was traded from Memphis to Charlotte, but we're gonna start in Memphis. And this is gonna be pretty much easy because these guys already kind of made up their mind where they would like to go, but it's all depending on if the team's willing to accept them. Now we're gonna start with Matt Barnes. CBS analysts have him. So, Matt Barnes, he's a 34-year-old, but you wouldn't know it from his impact last season. He's still a tough and physical defender with great instinct and fundamentals. He has improved as a shooter, though he regressed back to 32% last season. Barnes is liked and respected by teammates despite his off-court drama. Can handle well enough to drive if the defender overcorrects on a closeout and can function as a small ball four in a pinch. As long as you're willing to live with the horrendous amount of questionable off-court behavior that accompanies him, Barnes might be worth a 1 or 2 year deal. However, the prospect of a serious drop-off is present with his age. And the team they got is Memphis, Orlando, Minnesota, Chicago, and Miami. Barnes came out clearly said 2 months ago that he would love to play in Memphis. He said he'd give himself about 3 or 4 more years before he basically retired. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, and this under the coach at the time was Dave Joerger. So Dave Joerger, he liked it. Lance Stevenson, he liked it. Courtney Lee, and he liked it. Barnes. So now Joerger's now in Sacramento. He's a coach down in Sacramento. So Memphis, Barnes is a free agent. They didn't resign. Well, not resign. I'm sorry. They basically didn't pick up the option for Lance Stevenson, basically because they want to make sure they have money for Mike Conley, if they get a chance to re-sign him. But they do, but they are interested in Lance Stevenson though, and it's Memphis. So Matt Barnes, Orlando, I don't know. He's like I say, he definitely want to go to Memphis. Only team that's really looking at right now is probably Memphis. I don't know. He can be a good role model for any team, especially a good defender at his age. Like I said, all they have to do with basically the off-court, demeanor that he has going on in his life. With that being said, I got only really him going back to Memphis for like 2 or 3 million, whatever, because the salary gonna be updated, so it's gonna give him an opportunity to pay for a minimum, and he loves it in Memphis. He said, so he said like 3 or 4 years, then he retire, and I think Memphis would give him probably about 3 or 4 years. So I can see Matt Barnes going to Memphis, or going back to Memphis. Minnesota definitely can use him. Off the bench, because they need some toughness. Now, does he go to Minnesota? I don't know, because Tim, one thing about Tim, he liked defenders, and he could fit well in Minnesota. Now, I don't know if Minnesota might call him up and try to throw him an option out there. It could happen. Miami could pick him up too. Miami, like I said, they definitely will be trying to bring some veterans back in on the strength they don't really have that much money, and he would definitely be able to fit that mold with Miami because they definitely need some bench players. I'm not too sure about Chicago. I don't know the direction they're going based on the fact that they're letting a lot of their players go. So, like I said, I think he's going back to Memphis. That's how I look at it with him. Now, Courtney Lee, he was traded to Charlotte with Green. And with this, analysts on CBS got him. Courtney Lee turns 31 in October. But his contract value versus game impact differential is resoundingly positive. A plus defender who can disrupt, handle, and passing lanes. Lee is capable of guarding point guards, shooting guards, and occasional spot-up small forward. He's 6'5" with great length to contest shots. Offensively, Lee is versatile as all get out and efficient to boot. He has shot 37% or better from three-point range for the past 6 years. He's a wonderful and smart cutter, a good teammate who plays head up all times, always willing to fill in to whatever role he is prescribed and doesn't complain about coming off the bench. Lee is going to be tremendous value for whoever picks him up. For the first 2 years, if Lee is searching for a 4-year deal, there's a good chance by the end of his contract at age 35, he will be a drain. But given his relative health, toughness, attitude, and skill set, he's well worth the investment near the projected league average of roughly 14 to 15 million. Going as high as 18 million per season over a 3-year deal is not a lucrative number. They got him good fit for Oklahoma City, Cleveland, Boston, Atlanta, Miami, and Detroit. Now, with that being said, Detroit, once they sign Drummond, I don't know how much money they're going to have because they are already close to the budget. So they definitely need a guard. Do he go to Detroit? No. Miami, he's not. I mean, it depends. Like, Miami definitely need players. They only got like 5 or 6 people on a contract. And once they sign Wade, and they trying to re-sign Hassan, but I don't know how that might work out. So I don't think he's going to Miami because, he's at the end of his career. And around this age of 30, you want to try to get the best contract possible. And I don't see him taking $2 million to $3 million. It's not going to happen with Miami. Atlanta, the only way I can see him picking up going to Atlanta if they lose Ken Bazemore. But they already said that they're making Al Horford and Ken Bazemore their priority. So I don't see him going to Atlanta, but on a scale to 1 to 10, if they lose Ken Bazemore, I do give them a 7. Boston, I don't know what's up, Boston. Like I said, them and the picks. I don't know what's going on Danny Ainge's head. Him going to Boston, I don't think so. Cleveland, no, because I think they're going to re-sign J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith only opt out of his contract based on the fact because he has the opportunity to get more money, especially if they move Kevin Love. Oklahoma City, I doubt it based on the fact that they already had waiters and they picked up the dude from Orlando. So it'd be kind of crazy to get somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, you got a nice little guard rotation with Westbrook and all them. So I don't know about that situation. So I don't think I'm going to there. Now, the only two teams I can see him going to is actually New York and Sacramento. New York, why I say New York? Because they definitely the two. The rumors put out there that they were throwing up sources saying that it would be good for Phil Jackson to make a trade with a trade with Charlotte, but Charlotte have to re-sign him, and it'd be like a trade and deal sign. You know what I mean? Where they sign him on, then they make a trade between Charlotte and New York in order to get Courtney Lee. But why would they do that when he's just a free agent? They can just go ahead and sign him. So I can see him going to New York. I can see him going to New York to be a 2 behind Derrick Rose. With Derrick Rose, that'd be a good matchup because Derrick Rose gonna be your scorer. Courtney Lee could be your defender, plus dude can shoot. And like I say, he's 6'5", 6'6", something like that. So he'll be a good addition to that team. And plus one thing about Phil Jackson, his always liked his two guards to be 6'6", 6'7", a la Kobe and Jordan. So Courtney Lee would fit that mold. Now my biggest spec, with New York, out of a scale of 1 to 10, I got it like an 8. Him going to New York. Now the other team I got is Sacramento. Now, why I say Sacramento? Because the coach that actually gave him an opportunity and a chance was Dave Joerger. Dave Joerger liked this dude. They gave him a chance, let him start and all that. And he was kind of upset when the front office decided to trade him to Charlotte, to make room. So he was kind of upset with that. Dave Jordan is no longer with Memphis. He's now down in Sacramento. And he also said before he left, he said that he would love for Courtney, to play for him. I mean, well, not before he left. I'm sorry, when he was at Sacramento, I'm thinking about Lance Stevenson. He said that he would love for Courtney Lee to come down and play for him because he liked Courtney Lee's style of play. And Sacramento definitely needed a 2 guard, and they're trying to build. So I can see them definitely picking up Courtney Lee. And like I said, they got money. Only really person they got under a big contract is actually Boogie Cousins. Now, Rudy Gay is inconsistent. He's a good player, but he's inconsistent. If he can just be consistent, at least get him 18 points, man. I mean, Sacramento could be a squad. I thought for sure Sacramento would make the playoff this year with Rondo, Rudy Gay, and Boogie. Only one show was Rondo and Boogie. Rudy Gay never showed up, man. Only in certain games, man. And it was like it was heartbreaking, man, because I really had so much inspiration in Rudy. I really thought he was going to pick it up, but it is what it is. But I can see Courtney Lee going to Sacramento. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 9 because in Sacramento he will get a chance to start and he'll get to play with his old coach who really gave him that opportunity in Memphis. Now we're going to go to Lance Stevenson. He was just released. They did pick up his team option of $9 million or something. They only did that only to make way for Mike Conley, make sure they got enough money on the table to actually sign him. So it gives them like 30-something million of free money. Now they said they wouldn't mind bringing Lance Stevenson back, but I don't think they're going to bring him back for $9 million. Lance Stevenson does have to prove to everybody and his team that he still have it in him. Lance Stevenson, his biggest thing is that this guy, you already know about him in Indiana. I used to like him because when he was in Indiana, I used to say, like, man, this is the next Magic Johnson. This guy was getting, in 2013-14, he led the league in triple-doubles. With rebounding. He was like Draymond Green. You know what I mean? He just was pretty decent. And one thing about this guy, he can get to the basket. He got a nice sized body for a guy that's 6'5", 6'6". He can play the point, the 2, or the 3. The biggest problem with him, he's inconsistent with the shot. Now he can hit jumpers, but when it comes to like 3-pointers, he was never really a big 3-point threat. He said that this offseason he's definitely going to work on his athleticism. As in getting to the basket better. He's going to work on his shot, and he said also he's going to work on his shot, and he's going to work on his strength. Now, one thing about Lance Stevenson is that the biggest thing that hurt him was his attitude. The guy always had an attitude problem, and the attitude followed him, and that's the reason why he never really panned out with a lot of teams. Indiana, he got in it with George Hill. He got in with him. So that what that led to him. Him and they fell out. So he went on and went to Charlotte. It didn't pan out in Charlotte. Then he went to the Clippers. Doc Rivers stated that when he seen it, he was like a prototype male at that size and weight. He thought he could be like a good impact for that team defensively. He said that was the biggest letdown defensively because the dude did not play defense, and that's why the Clippers went on and they departed ways. Now with Memphis, they gave him an opportunity. He went in, did what he had to do. He averaged 14 points. He actually carried the team to the playoff when Gasol went down. And at the time, Conley was still struggling because Conley was struggling last year. But he did pretty good, coming in, playing the last 25 games, starting and all that. Now Memphis, like I said, they definitely would like for him to come back. He don't mind going back to Memphis. So with that being said, it's all about if Memphis, like I said, he probably get like $5 million. You know what I mean? Because I don't think nobody's gonna give him $9 or $10 million. You know what I mean? He had to prove himself. He's still young. He's only 25. So for Memphis, they only got, like I said, they got Vince Carter and they got they definitely said they want Matt Barnes back. So you got Vince Carter, Matt Barnes, and Tony Allen. He can play all those positions, and all them guys are old. So they definitely gonna need some youth. So I can see them actually picking back up Lance Stevenson, based on the fact that he did pretty good, and he has a lot to redeem himself of. Another team I definitely see him going to is actually Sacramento because of that coach, because the coach, Dave Jordan, liked him as well. And he said he would, and Dave Jordan basically said before he before he was let go and went to Sacramento, he said that he would absolutely coach him again. So they have, so Dave Jordan definitely have much respect for him, and Dave Jordan definitely will give him a chance. So between Sacramento and Memphis is the only team I can see him going to. Matt Barnes, it's mostly Memphis. I think Memphis will give him like a $2 million deal or something like that per year or whatever it may be. I don't know what they. The thing is, they're going to make sure they sign Mike Conley first. After they sign Mike Conley, then they're going to think about, what should they offer Lance Stevenson and Matt Barnes. You know what I mean? Vince Carter already stated that he would love to go back and play Toronto his last couple years, before he retired. Which would be cool because they might can make a trade for Vince Carter to make that happen. And I would love to see Vince Carter go to Toronto just before he retired because it would be beautiful, especially based on the fact that Toronto is like that close to getting to the finals. So it would be wonderful to see them guys, allow Vince Carter to come back and play with, and let Vince get the chance. But I definitely see Lance Stevenson going between Memphis and Sacramento. And I also see Matt Barnes going to Memphis, and I see Courtney Lee going to Sacramento. Or he's Sacramento, New York. And that's what I got for these three guys. So with that being said, it's your man Urban. Like, share, subscribe. Get in the comment section. Tell me what you think, where you think these guys can go. Oh, and Courtney Lee, you already know, he will definitely make a good addition for the Lakers too, coming off that bench. Or starting and let JC come off the bench. Because like I said, he's a big body. He played defense, and we definitely need a defensive perimeter player at the guard spot. So it'll be a good compliment for have Courtney Lee as well, so the Lakers can look at Courtney Lee as well. And I didn't want to leave that out because I don't want everybody to be thinking that, oh man, because he's a Laker fan, all you keep saying Laker. But I am a Lakers fan, and I'm being optimistic here, and I'm being realistic. The Lakers could get Courtney Lee too. Now Matt Barnes, I thought about it, but like I said, I'd rather have Mon Williams over Matt Barnes based on the fact of age and the point that Mon Williams can shoot, and he can play the 3 and the 4. And like I said, he don't come off all the attitude. Matt Barnes is a good guy. He's fired up. But right now, at this time in the stage while we're building, we don't really need that type of attitude. We don't want to go into that direction. I think Matt Barnes fit better with a veteran team more than a team that's in the rebuilding stage. So with that being said, like I said, it's your man Urban Lover. I love you guys. You have a blessed day. Once again, be safe out there. A lot going on in the world. But y'all take care. And let me know what y'all brothers think about who's going where. Have a good day.